Good morning, dear friends, especially our dear Bosconians and dear Salesian educators, of course, our dear members of the Salesian family. Today is October 29, and we celebrate the memorial of Blessed Michael Rua, the first successor of St. John Bosco. When I was in grade 4 in Don Bosco, Tarlac, our rector then, Father Luciano Capelli, who is now a bishop in the Solomon Islands, he was giving a good morning talk to the assembly, and he was mentioning about Blessed Michael Rua. And one thing that I never forgot was Blessed Michael Rua was strict as a Salesian in the oratory. Strict because he was faithful to the rule that he would tell the boys that they should follow Don Bosco. And so this is one characteristic of his, faithfulness to Don Bosco, such that he was called the living rule. And beyond this, when he became a rector major, of course, he was able to acquire that fatherliness of Don Bosco, that he always had that love for the young, that predilection. And now we revere him as a very beloved figure within the history of our congregation. You know that when Don Bosco died in 1888, the church was thinking of merging the Salesians with other congregations. Why? Because the Salesians were led by Don Bosco, and he was a great man, and he had that charism. But they did not so much trust other people. Will they be able to come up to what Don Bosco, with how Don Bosco led the congregation, with that charism, the gifts of God? And the answer, the key, was Blessed Michael Rua. And Michael Rua was not a popular figure at that time. Maybe the bishops did not know him. But later on we saw that he led the congregation with the same force, with that same zeal as Don Bosco did. And so it flourished. The congregation survived. And I'd like to just say a few things about him. Okay, based on his biography in the liturgical books that we have as Salesians. Take note that this memorial is within the Salesian circles. Well, he was born in 1837 in Turin, where the oratory was, and he entered the oratory of Valdoco in 1852. And then 2 years later, he was among the first to whom Don Bosco suggested the formation of the Salesian Society. So he was one of the founding members. And after becoming a priest, he was always at Don Bosco's side. And in 1865 became vicar. And this office he filled so effectively that in 1884, at the explicit request of the saint, Leo XIII decided that he should be the founder's successor. And then he was confirmed as rector major in 1888, and thanks to that, we were not merged with other congregations. So as I said, he was called the living rule because of his fidelity to Don Bosco. And his fatherliness was so imbued with delicacy that he was also called a sovereign of kindness. Maybe that sternness that he had before, it was transformed into a great loving kindness. Okay? And just to tell you something about particulars, he always referred back to the founder when he used to say, Don Bosco used to say, Don Bosco used to do this, Don Bosco would want to, leading his confreres and the young people, not to himself, but to Don Bosco. And he died on April 6, 1910, and of course his memorial, his feast, is not celebrated on that day, but it's celebrated on the day he was beatified, because he was beatified on October 29, 1972. And I just would like to end with this, with the remark of the one who beatified him, Pope St. Paul VI, when he said, "The Salesian family had in Don Bosco its origin, and in Don Rua its continuation. He drew all his teachings from the saint. He derived an authentic ethos from his rule, and he made the saint's holiness the model to be followed. Don Rua instituted a genuine tradition. And with that, I think we can all follow suit to be faithful to what Don Bosco has taught us, especially we Salesian educators. And above all, not only an authentic ethos from his rule, but the saint's holiness that we would imbibe. Don Rua was able to do that. And we, Don Rua was a successor of Don Bosco, but in our times, who are the Don Boscos of our times? Of course, we have Director Major, but we, Salesian educators, stand for Don Bosco in our time and in our place. And so I wish you that. Let us be imitators of Don Rua in the sense that he was faithful to Don Bosco. God bless you all and have a good day.